What? That's what I wanted to say. What? I knew what she had said. Or I thought I knew, I just hadn't heard her. An exhausted young resident, probably at the end of her shift, hauled in here to run an emergency ultrasound, having to say so softly, so wearily, I can't look at a heartbeat. It had been an ordinary Monday morning. My wife Tony was 30 weeks pregnant, and we were there for our regular bi-weekly checkup. We'd even taken separate cars, ready to head off to work when it was through. These are the clothes I had on. We didn't think we had anything to fear. Only all the tests were off. Tony had lost weight. Her belly had gotten smaller. There was protein in her pee. Our midwife checked for the heartbeat with the Doptone machine, but she couldn't find the heartbeat. But those things often malfunction, so she wheeled in another. Nothing. What could be the matter? They sat us in a small waiting room for a half hour, waiting for the emergency ultrasound, the one that was going to show us an active, wriggling fetus like the one we had seen in January. It was March. There was a miniature, sad, half-dead pine tree on the windowsill with Christmas ornaments on it. It was March. Tony looked so scared. I didn't know what to say. They put us in a nicer room, a room for one. It had windows overlooking the atrium, the fountain, all these people moving through this metropolitan city of a hospital. Tony changed into a gown. They ran the test. I didn't hear what the resident said. I'm sorry, our midwife told us. I'm so sorry. Tony was shattered. I don't know what I looked like. They were already raising the bed. That was strangely dramatic. She was rising towards me, weeping, and I held her confused and horrified. Finally, I looked up and articulated one thought. What happened? Our midwife shook her head. We don't know. It was Monday morning. Tony would give birth in 36 hours. We would be in that hospital until Friday. We had been admitted. Once we had emerged from the hospital, we asked everyone not to call. No flowers, please. Though they did come. Some bright, springy flowers. Because it was spring. His birthday was the first day of spring, and it always will be. The house was much cleaner than when we had left it. Can I clean the house? My mother asked while we were still in the hospital. I can take care of things while you aren't there, and you can come home to a clean house, and there will be food in your refrigerator. Now, I didn't want to come home to the messy house we had left, the same house we had left. But I also knew how Tony would feel about people, others, moving through her home while she wasn't there. Yes, we would both really like that. Only there are an awful lot of baby things around. Magazines and presents. I'll put those away somewhere. No! Please, that's something they told us. Not to let anyone do that. We need to take care of those things ourselves. We can't come home to a house that pretends he was never there. Oh, okay. We'll just dust around them. Mm-hmm. That will be really nice. Thank you. I just wish there was something else I could do. There's nothing to do. I guess the only way I can express my feelings is through laundry. We moved back into a clean, quiet house. Every little thing was a reminder of what happened before, of what life was like before. The first night, I slept like the dead back in our own bed. I woke early, alone. Gray sunlight of a drizzly day, weaving my way down the hall towards the nursery, following the loud keening of my wife. She was seated on the stepladder. All the paint, rollers, drop cloths laid about. I had started painting the ceiling a metallic blue. That was on Saturday, St. Patrick's Day. This was a Saturday. That was only a week ago. I want my son. Bleary-eyed and sad, I held her to me, and we rocked back and forth, her cries echoing loudly off the vacant walls of that tiny, unfinished room. And that's what it was like. First here, and then at my mother-in-law's house in Athens. Days faded into days in quiet retreat, with tears and flowers and television and food and alcohol. We drank. We drank well. We drank a lot. Severe hypertension, preeclampsia, uterus separated, lack of blood flow. I am calm, I am in control. My eyes may be burning and I am sick to my stomach, though I may just be hungry. I want to split wide open, but I have to be in control for her. I must be in control for her. Hello? I am so sorry for your loss. Has anyone talked to you yet? Okay. Well, there are a number of decisions you will need to make. You don't have to answer them now. I know you will want time to think about them and talk about them. Are you going to want to see the baby when it's delivered? Are you going to want to hold the baby? If you want to see clergy, we have someone on staff who will come and talk to you. Will you want the baby to be baptized? Oh, all right. Have you named the baby? You don't know if you have a boy or a girl. Okay. There is also the matter of the autopsy. We may never know what happened to your baby, but we may be able to find out something that will help. You will need to consent for us to perform the autopsy. You can watch TV if you'd like. Would you like me to turn the TV on? No? You don't need to sit in that stool, Mr. Thayer. You can pull the rocking chair over to the bed. It would be more comfortable. No? Okay. I know this is going to be so hard for you both, but I am going to take good care of you. I never thought 9 months would be enough time to prepare for a baby. Fixing the room, collecting all the right things, child-proofing the house. Suddenly, we had 1 day to make a completely different set of decisions. Decisions we never, in our worst nightmares, thought we would have to make. See it? Name it? Hold it? We don't touch dead things. Both in the hospital, and then for a short time after we were released, I had to make a number of phone calls to let everyone know what happened. I called my college girlfriend, Becky.
Hi, David. Oh, I haven't heard from you in quite some time. How are you? No. What? Oh my God, David. I I am so sorry. What happened? Well, didn't you know anything was wrong? You were only there for a regular exam. Oh my God. Well, wasn't Tony taking care of herself? Wasn't there anything you could do? Wasn't she taking care of herself? Oh, so maybe that blood test was telling you something was wrong. Well, that baby was never meant to live. It was very active. You thought you felt it on Friday. Oh. Well, maybe if you'd gone to the hospital, you might have done something. No? Oh, that's so sad. That's so terrible. I am so sorry for you and Tony. Are you going to try again? Well, you should try again. Listen, the boy is really acting up here. I have to go. You two take care, all right? I'll be thinking about you.
A hot summer day. I am in my own backyard. The air is hazy and bright and out of focus. It looks like one of those old photographs of me as a toddler circa 1969 playing with my mom inside this wooden fold-out pen. She looks so young. And she's wearing these really groovy cat-eye sunglasses. It's all yellow and green and bright and hot. The air is so thick, it's like a mist. And there's music. A playful sing-songy melody from a gamelan. And there's a bamboo flute. It's such a happy tune. I look up to hear where the music's coming from. It's coming from the nursery on the second floor. Tony is holding the baby, pointing to me. That's father, out in the yard, playing with grandmother inside his wooden pen. I run into the house. Well, this isn't our house. This is my mother-in-law's house in Athens. And there's a small boy there. He's wearing an old aviator's costume, the kind with a leather helmet and goggles. I ask if he wants me to read to him, and he says he wants to play cars. So we get down on the floor and we play cars. There's a sports car and a dump truck and a few motorcycles and a helicopter. And as we play with the helicopter, it becomes life-size. And we are soaring over Athens, Ohio. He sits in my lap, and I point out his grandmother's house and head uptown and show him the courthouse. And I show him my school, and I tell him about every part of the world. And I am surprised to see we are approaching Niagara Falls. And the helicopter begins to shudder with turbulence. We just missed some power lines as I pull back on the stick. The lines are coated with ice, and the wind is very strong. All around it's hard to see, and the earth is covered in white. I say everything is gonna be okay. And I can see the falls maybe a quarter mile ahead, but all the snow and wind is making it very difficult to make any progress. And I look to my lap, and the boy is gone. And in his place is my cat. And he is terribly unhappy about being in a helicopter, so we turn around. I thought there was a boy with me. I really wanted to show him this. No. Listen, honey, look at me. There was nothing either of us could have done. That baby was never meant to live. We have no idea what happened. It may be there was something seriously wrong with it. We can't know. Maybe it is better for the baby. We don't know. They'll perform the autopsy, and then we'll know. It was me. I haven't been paying attention.
I haven't been feeding her well enough. She's been so sick these past few months. I've been so wrapped up in my own business, I couldn't prepare a decent breakfast. I could have. I didn't. That stomach flu she had 2 weeks ago, well, that must have had something to do with it. It was a sign, right? I mean, it had to be, right? Her boss, that hag.
Tony takes 3 days off work. Why? Because she's pregnant and very ill, and her boss calls her up and yells at her, calls her irresponsible. Tony was anxious for days. She was puking sick. That woman killed my baby. Tony's blood pressure was so high when she came in, she could have had a stroke. She could have died. That woman killed my child, and if I ever meet her, I hope I can say that to her face. Oh my God. That nurse who took Tony's blood pressure 4 weeks ago, she said that's funny, and she went to get a cuff because her blood pressure was too high. My God, she knew 4 weeks ago that something wasn't right. That's true, isn't it? They should have known. I should have known. I should have been studying, reading. I let that baby die because I'm an idiot. But it was alive on Friday, right? We had Chinese on Friday, and she said she felt it move. We had sex on Friday, and she said she felt it move. I sang to it on Friday, and I felt it move. But she wanted to come in on Friday. She thought something wasn't right. But we were both too embarrassed to. We'd just see the doctor on Monday. Did it die last night? Saturday night? Could we have saved it? Is it our fault? It's her fault. She wasn't taking care of herself. She never went to the gym. She listened to all those hip experts. Our midwife, who said a glass of wine every now and then could never hurt. She went out a couple of times to bars. There's so much smoke in those places. Don't worry, no problem. Why change a thing? She never did anything differently. That's not true. That's so not true. She tried. She tried very hard, and she did. She was eating better. She wasn't drinking. She never smoked, and she started taking yoga classes. She ate better than I did. She never drank, even though I kept drinking. She wasn't smoking, even though I kept smoking. She tried not drinking so much coffee, but I didn't. And she was working all day, and I wasn't feeding her. And she needed comfort, and I was out every night. She was in trouble, and I wasn't paying attention. The baby was in trouble, and I wasn't paying attention. It was me. It was me.
His memorial was Tuesday, May 29th, the day after Memorial Day.
Good afternoon. Tony and I would like to thank you all for joining us here in our backyard on this rainy Tuesday afternoon. Today was our son's due date, and in order to get past this day, we wanted to commemorate him, to share with you, our closest friends and family, what he means to us, and to give you the chance to share with each other what he meant to you. These are the clothes I had on the day my son was born. I read somewhere that we use language as a way to understand our world. Someone who loses a spouse is a widow or a widower. Someone who loses their parents is an orphan. There is no word for parents of a dead child, so we do not understand who we are. We did not cry when we held him. When we saw him, we were speechless, in awe, born into a world he would never know. We have cried many times since, that we cry for him, but more for us. I know who he is now, but I do not know who I am. It has been so long since he died. So long since I told him my stories, saying to him, did he know who I am? Did he know my voice? These are the things I have tried to understand through our 2-month mourning period, and as much as we are not yet ready, today is a day for moving on. There are already others who need our comfort and sympathy.
The rain had stopped. Everyone was encouraged to say something. We handed out sheets of handmade red paper and pens, and we wrote secret messages to our boy that we then burned in the bird bath under the magnolia tree. We said goodbye. After 2 months of mourning in silence, we tried to let him go. The next day, we went to Cedar Point.
Excuse me. I have a phone call to make.
When your baby is learning to chew and mash, it's time for Next Step dinners. Tender bits of veggie and pasta blended with the puree your baby is used to. Next Step dinners help your baby grow one step closer to toddler food. Make your baby a healthier, happier baby with Next Step.
Hello. Yes, I received one of your advertisements in the mail today for your baby food product. I want my name removed from your mailing list. Is my wife's last name. Any idea how we got put on your list? Anyway, it's there. THAYER. Tony. That's with an I. Very good. Thank you. Thanks. Shortly after we were released from the hospital, my brother Harold asked if we wouldn't like to stay with him and his family in London. They had a couple of free weeks in June. June. We hadn't thought of life past the due date. The summer was supposed to be spent with a new baby. We accepted their invitation immediately. My brother, his wife, and their 6-year-old daughter Lillian lives in a fairly large house. It used to be a vicarage. I was just waking up one Sunday morning in my bathrobe, clutching a cup of coffee, heading up to see how Tony was doing. It was Father's Day. No ties or socks, please. I'd just like my dead son back. My niece cornered me on the landing.
Can I ask you something? Would you like to play market?
She took me by the hand and led me into her room, which was a fabulous mess. There were posters covering every inch of the walls and her own drawings. The floor was cluttered with toys and clothes and art supplies and everything. She sat me down on the floor by the bed.
You will run the market, and I will be the shopper. What can we use for a counter? Yes, that will work nicely. What should we sell? Yes, I have food here. It's plastic. That's a banana, and those are grapes, and that's an aubergine, and I don't know what those are. And you can sell my Star Wars figures. This is Obi-Wan, and this is Queen Amidala, and this is Jar Jar Binks. Did you say something? Oh, Daddy made me some money we can use. These are dollars and these are cents. I don't know why he didn't make pounds and pence, but that's what they are, dollars and cents. That's a soft monkey.
At this point, Tony stuck her head in. We're playing market. She just smiled and ducked out.
What else do we need? Oh, I have some animals here. Here's a bear who's a very silly bear, and Tommy the dog who's very sick.
Every animal had a story. Every toy had a story. I was stuck in Lillian's room, cross-legged on the floor, and I had run out of coffee. I almost thought this was a setup, that someone had asked her to do this, an unwitting participant in someone's idea of a Father's Day present. It took us almost an hour to create our market. And I had a wide variety of wares and put on a floppy hat because I wanted to. And we took turns buying and selling things to each other. I think I would like some more coffee.
Do you mean you want to stop playing?
I like playing, but I would also like some more coffee.
Can I tell you something? I think my father isn't the only one getting a Father's Day present this morning.
Is that a surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like getting surprised when you get a present on your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, surprises are like presents, and sometimes it's more fun when they're kept secret. I like presents a lot, and I like surprises. So let's keep that between you and me, okay? Just then, her mother rang the bell for breakfast, and we had a real English breakfast. Pancakes, and sausage, and bacon, and turkey rashers, meat, and meat. I lied, by the way. I hate surprises, but I do like presents. And my brother and I each got a handmade ceramic coffee mug with our name on it, and I got a tie. My parents came and took me to the atrium to force me to eat. I found a seat by the fountain, facing her window, ready to leap if I saw anyone rushing about in there. I had my pager in case she needed me. I sat and tried to remember how to chew as I wolfed down a cheeseburger and fries. In the next 2 months, I would gain 15 pounds eating like this. Mom looked stricken. Dad looked helpless. I don't express emotions very well, but I really am very sorry. Yeah. Thank you for coming down here. It really is just the most awful thing. I called Harold in London and Derek in St. Paul. Derek says he's ready to come into town right now if we want him to, but to the extent that we've been planning anything, we're pretty sure that we're going to go to Tony's mother's house in Athens as soon as we get out of here and stay there as long as Tony wants. But I did tell Derek to come in April. I'm sorry. That sounds stupid. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm the only one who brings sadness into this family. Remember when I was getting divorced? You said, are you doing this just to feel something, to have something new to write about? I'm sorry I keep letting you both down.
I don't know what we wanted our trip to London to be, but it wasn't what we wanted. I mean, it couldn't be some tourist thing. We couldn't really take that right now. All the crowds, we just wanted to take it easy. We'd take the train into the city, get some sandwiches at the station, camp out in St. James Park, and watch the coots and geese, and very brave pelicans, and the crazy middle-aged squirrel men, and the parade of bloody prams. Have you ever noticed that there are newborn babies absolutely everywhere? Even in Britain? My brother and his wife weren't really helping. I had spoken with him at length over the phone about how things were with us, and he said he'd look forward to talking to Tony about the baby when we came, only it never really happened. On the rare occasion the subject came up, he would just say a few pat and reassuring things, and his wife would stand there and nod sympathetically. Are you having a nice visit? Oh, it's all right. It's not what we were expecting. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you expecting? We were expecting a baby. Oh, yes. We were there 2 whole weeks, and we were dying to talk about the baby. In particular, I wanted to talk to Lillian about him. My brother had mentioned over the phone that she had lots of questions, and she hadn't asked any. But then, was she supposed to bring the subject up? Our last full day, a Saturday, my brother had to work. So Lillian was escorting us to Hamley's, Britain's largest toy store. So, picture Tony and I, surrounded by children on 6 floors, crammed with toys and games and play sets, with our gregarious and very excitable niece running up to every other kid in the place, trying to do what they're doing, trying everything out. She got some strange looks. It was almost heartbreaking to watch. Mostly, it made us delirious. In the cafe, on the topmost floor, we were able to catch our breath, have ice cream, while the 3 of us conspired together about what one present to get for Lillian. I sat in silence for a moment, while the 2 of them talked, trying to figure out what to do. This was our only chance. I was terrified. Lillian, honey, I have something I would like to talk to you about, okay? She got very still and wouldn't look directly at me. Later, I realized I was using the voice my brother reserves for reprimands. You know, Tony and I were expecting a baby, right? Only he died?
Yes.
Well, we wanted you to know that if you have any questions for us about him or about what happened, it's okay to ask.
Okay. How was he taken out?
Tony said I gave birth to him the normal way, and so we got to see him.
Did you name him?
We told her his name.
Do you think he will know you when you get to heaven? Will he grow up in heaven? Will he be a man? No, I think he will be a boy. I think he will be a boy when you meet him in heaven.
We said, maybe he will be. And we threw away our ice cream cups and went off to get a present. Lillian asked 3 questions about our son. She asked more questions than anyone else in my family. Excuse me? I have to make a phone call.
Hello. I need my name taken off your mailing list. 44121. Last name's Thayer. Oh, does it? It says right there? How many times? Wow, this is my third call. So you might imagine I am not pleased. See, our son died, and we have been receiving regular mailings from you full of congratulations for our newfound joy and offering us exclusive discounts on your baby food product, only we can't use them. You see? Because he's dead. I shouldn't take this out on you. Is there someone else I should be speaking to? Good. Hi! What's your name? Hi, Diane. I have been receiving your money-saving coupons for months now, only there's no baby here. See? He died. I'm sure you will now offer to remove our name from the mailing list, only we've tried that, and they keep coming. I would love the opportunity to feed my child, some future living child, your baby food for every single meal, only I can't right now. Do you understand? Good. Thank you. I appreciate your concern. This is not your fault. Every time we get one of these, my wife has a bad day. You'll do your best. I'm not sure that will make any difference, but I hope you can. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay, bye. Tony was induced. Our first nurse, the angel, was a distant memory. Others had seen us through that first sleepless night. Whenever one would enter, I would sit up, ready to do something, though there was nothing for me to do, and I would just go back to sleep. They were all very kind, except for one. Hey, how are you? I'm Evelyn. I'll be on till 3 p.m., so how's it going? I couldn't sleep last night either. Kids running around drives me nuts. You don't have to sit in that stool, Mr. Thayer. That rocking chair is way more comfortable. You don't want to sit in that rocking chair? Okay, suit yourself. Do you want me to turn the TV on? It's okay to watch TV, you know, you have the whole room all to yourself. Really? My kids, they have the TV on all the time, drives me nuts. Well, you know how it goes. The bedpan. Well, let me take care of this, and I'll be right back. By 3 p.m., I had become quite proficient at changing a bedpan. I can't sleep. I hate this. What are we supposed to do? Well, I know she said she wouldn't be in until 2, but that just doesn't make her 15 minutes late. That makes it 2:15 in the morning, and she isn't home yet. I know. I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, she's your sister. And I know, she's 17. And she has a certain amount of freedom at home. I think that's part of the problem. Excuse me for saying so, but you know, this is my house. And while she's staying with us this summer, it's just a freaking courtesy, you know? I look like my dad. I hate this. I like your sister. I mean, I love your sister. I think she's great. I just wish she would show some consideration. She's always thinking of herself. You know, hooking up with that guy. What? Well, no, they aren't hooking up. I mean, not that we know of. I wouldn't put it past him. Jesus. How old is he? 27? 28? What a creep. He's an all right guy and all, but how do we know what he's capable of? What? I know that's her business. But that's not what's bothering me. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe it is. No, okay, no, what's bothering me is that you and I are sitting up in the middle of the night worrying about whether or not she's coming home or safe, and she's not my kid. When are they going to call us about the autopsy? Is that her? Good.
Please leave your message.
You've reached 555-2992. Neither Tony nor David can come to the phone right now. Please leave a message.
Hello? Oh, this message is for David and for Tony, too, I guess. This is Becky. Look, I'm very sorry about our last conversation. I don't think I said very helpful things. The thing is, your phone call really scared me. I knew you were due soon, and I thought you were calling to tell me that you had a baby. The reason I was so scared on the phone is I'm pregnant again. Right now I'm very pregnant, and so I didn't know what to say. I hope the two of you are doing all right. I've thought of you both often since our phone call, and I know you will be strong, and I hope someday happy. Okay. Just call me when you get the chance. I love you guys. Bye.
We didn't talk too much. In the hours spent sitting there or wandering around the room, there were so many thoughts, but I was afraid to share any of them. Any one might be too much to bear. Do you remember it was just Sunday night, and we stopped into the diner after birthing class because you were hungry and I hadn't been to the grocery store yet? I was going to go yesterday. And you remembered that it was 6 years ago to the day that you moved here from New York, and you said you had only just realized how afraid you were to say goodbye to the most calm, successful, and emotionally fulfilling period of your life. And I said something stupid, like, all of life is transition. Our lives will and must always change. But I didn't mean this. She was on magnesium sulfate, Epsom salts. Her blood pressure was wildly out of control, and the mag sulfate was to help keep it in check and prevent her from having seizures. That's what preeclampsia means, before seizures. She might have had one any time in the past few days. That stuff made her feel terrible. What was never spoken was the very real possibility that she might die. There are no guarantees. No one to say, oh, that can't happen too. No one to reassure me that I wasn't going to leave this hospital entirely alone. You are going to be all right. I'm not going to leave you. I'll be right here. Yes, of course, it's okay if you close your eyes for a little bit. I would sit and read, maybe wander around the room, nap on the fold-away bed. I looked out the window into the atrium, They had turned off the fountain for repairs. The fountain was dry. That's true. I wouldn't make up an image like that. The lab sent over the autopsy report. I'm sorry it took so long. This may be difficult to hear. There were no genetic defects. For all intents and purposes, yours was a completely normal, healthy child. Fetal demise occurred between the 28th and 29th weeks. That's 1 to 2 weeks before birth. He was not alive that last Friday night. He did not hear you sing to him that last time. As we had guessed, the cause of death was the onset of early and extreme preeclampsia, a term which remains highly vague and describes countless otherwise unexplainable neonatal deaths. But we can say that it was brought on by severe high blood pressure, which may or may not have been caused by that hag, your boss, John Malkovich's terrible accent in Shadow of the Vampire, or the fact that David entirely failed to properly care for your physical and emotional needs while you were pregnant. There was amniotic fluid in his lungs, which suggests that as a result of oxygen starvation in the womb, he attempted to take a breath. I will pause for a moment to allow for the true horribleness of that fact to sink in. At the time of death, there was partial decomposition of the right leg and the brain had begun to liquefy. Do not feel too bad about not having called David's parents over to visit him the night he was born. They would not have seen what you had seen. And that's it. We cannot confirm whether or not he liked Elvis, Chinese food, or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That is all you will ever know about your son. I hope this has been of some comfort.
How about a joke? Everyone in New York City has their own special secret place they like to go to that no one else knows about. And it's the cloisters. Tony used to live in Washington Heights, and while we were recording, we'd take walks with the Fort Tryon Park, her favorite place in the world, and on up to the cloisters, which is an annex to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. In late summer, Tony had a job in New York, and I went along, and we invited my brother Derek to join us for all the excitement, because Derek is an exciting guy. Thank you so much for inviting me. To this place, or to New York in general? Both. Well, thanks for flying out here. It means a lot to Tony. It means a lot to me. I thought you'd like it here. I mean, this place. Here. You like medieval art, you know? You ever been here? No. I didn't think so. I love this one. I mean, I used to just think it was weird. I mean, Mary's just sitting there, reading, and the Holy Spirit is flying through the window at her. This little Snow White baby Jesus, he's just sailing through the window holding a cross. I mean, that thing's so tiny, it's about the size of a fetus at 2 months. I mean, he's holding a cross. That baby is entering the womb equipped with the means of his own death. That baby was never meant to live. And there's Joseph, just sitting there, crafting something out of wood, making holes in. He has no idea what's about to happen to him. You've been really great. I mean, you came to see us in April. You came to the memorial. I can't figure the rest of them out. I thought this trip would mean a lot to Tony. Like, it would be a good diversion. She gets to see old friends, familiar places, but you know, I don't think she wants to be diverted. Now, I don't know how much longer I could stay at home.
I've never lived at anywhere else. I used to think I had something to do there, something to accomplish, but now, to be a small part of something so much bigger than myself, like this city, it really appeals to me now. You've changed a lot. For the first time in my life, you seem older than me. The divorce didn't make me seem older? No. No, I guess it wouldn't, would it? 2 seasons down. Summer's almost over. He was born on the equinox, and we were in London for the solstice. And when we get home, Tony goes back to work, and she goes back to school. And I have a new job. It's not what you were expecting. No. Tony and I were wondering if you were interested in having us up to St. Paul for Thanksgiving. Oh, that'd be great. Just the 3 of us. Yes, I know. We can talk about the baby. It reminds me of my favorite piece from Hamlet. Do you remember what I had a dad read at the memorial? It's when Horatio is trying to warn Hamlet not to fight with Laertes. And Hamlet's figured it all out, and it's too late. But at least he has this clear idea about life and God and fate. And he says, there is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man of aught he leaves knows aught what is to leave betimes. And that's the sparrow. That's my boy. Everything all right? They got you on anything for that high blood pressure? Magnesium sulfate is to keep you from having seizures. It's got nothing to do with your blood pressure. No, it doesn't. Okay. Look, what is it you wanted? You think you need to have a bowel movement? How does it feel? Feeling pressure. I'm going to need to examine you. Why? Because you're feeling pressure. You don't know that. Well, look, I let you try and have a bowel movement without examining you. You might give birth right into the bedpan. Well, what do you want me to do? This nurse was arguing with Tony over whether or not she could take a dump. Tony was just sitting there, helpless. I didn't know what to do. My wife does not consent to this examination. I didn't say that. I said, you are a terrible nurse. No, seriously. What I did say is, please go and find the midwife. It's okay. She's getting her. I won't let that ever happen again. And besides, she won't be back. How do I know? Because it's finally 3. Excuse me. I have to make a call. Hi, this is David Hansen. I have continued to receive your advertisements in the mail. Would you mind checking to see how many times I have called? 44121. Thayer. 7. That's bad, isn't it? Can I speak with Miss Diane Young, please? That was her name. Diane Young.
I'm not kidding. Is this Diane? Hi, David Hansen. You know what I got today? Congratulations from your company on my toddler's upcoming 6-month birthday, which is funny because he's been dead for almost 9 months. You're sorry. Hell, I'm sorry. No, I know what you meant. Yes. No. No, it is too late for that. I will never even consider using your product. And I will be telling all my friends never to use your product, which sucks for you, as I know a lot of people. Hell, I'm going to be telling perfect strangers this story, lots of them, for decades. Now take my name off your mailing list. Good. Goodbye. Good luck.
It was Gerber.
We used to send holiday cards. This year, we sent over 100 cards. Everyone who had sent us condolences, everyone who had helped us, that one couple from birthing class who stayed in touch. Some of the cards included kind and you might say appropriate messages. Looking forward to better times next year. Best wishes for a peaceful holiday season and a new year filled with happiness and good fortune. Happy holidays and a happy, healthy 2002. Ron, Kathy, little Justin, and the little one on the way. Thanks. Becky sent an entire letter. Merry Christmas, 2001. Oh, Dave, I have been trying to be in touch with you, and I know you must be very busy with your new job. I hope you can return one of my calls soon. I know this has been a difficult year for you, and it has become one for me too. In August, after a short labor, our daughter was born. The joy was interrupted when the doctors determined that she has Down syndrome. There are some medical problems commonly found in Down children. She was born with a large hole in her heart. The cardiologist hoped to wait 12 to 24 months before operating, but she had to have the surgery much sooner. The operation was successful, but complicated. She came home a week later. She is such a little trooper. She has red hair,
like
me.
We've learned to take things a day at a time. I still grieve for the child I didn't have, but less often as time goes by. I still fight depression sometimes, and I'm learning to accept this, I mean her, as a reality, and there's a comfort in that. She's still at risk for serious respiratory illness and may also have eating disorders, hearing problems, and speech issues, and on and on and on. And I can only slightly understand your loss with the death of your son. When our hopes and dreams don't come true, our perspectives on life changes forever. I feel as if I've joined a club whose membership I never wanted. It always happens to other people. I'm sure you and Tony are very busy, you always are, but please give me a call when you get the chance. I admire your strength and hope that you are happy again. I hope your holidays are fun.
Take care. Love, Becky. Yes, Becky. We are members of a club we never wanted to join. But they are different clubs.
I had learned the routine. Rather than bother a nurse, I would walk from our room, which was in the quiet section of labor and delivery, past the second floor, front desk, and into the noisy section. I could hear other mothers giving birth to live, healthy babies in other rooms as I passed. Then past the nurses' stations, I must have looked like a ghost.
There goes that sad-looking man again. Why doesn't he go home and shave and change his clothes? I'll get popsicles and water, which were right around the corner from the nurse's station and right next to a small, unoccupied room. I looked in. This is where they had taken us 2 weeks earlier, when Tony had been dehydrated. She had some kind of stomach flu. They swear it was unrelated to the baby's death. We checked in at 4 in the morning on a Sunday. We had been up all night. I'd been drinking and had a few cigarettes. Anyway, I was just feeling crappy, and the nurse hooked her up to a sailing jib and checked her signs, and they put the baby's heartbeat on a monitor so we could hear it. Mr. Thayer, you can sit in that rocking chair if you'd like. So I did. Rocking back and forth, listening to my baby's heartbeat. I couldn't stay awake. I just rocked and slept, rocked and slept. Its heartbeat was so loud. That was the last time I heard it. In a rocking chair. Sleeping in a rocking chair while my child was dying. The year ended so differently than how it began. 2001 started with a horsey ride around Niagara Falls. Tony and I plump and swaddled in the carriage, happy and smiling and ignorant, in the middle of the night, in the warm safety of our hotel bed. On the first day of the year, she felt him move for the very first time. Happy New Year! 5 minutes to midnight on the last day of the worst year ever, at Tony's mother's house in Athens, next to the Christmas tree, Tony and her mom knocked out on the floor. I was wrapped up on the couch watching Dick Clark. Times Square looked scary and cold. Excited, brave, and very drunk tourists shouting, "God bless the USA!" I considered letting the women sleep through it, but woke them, as they had asked, in time for the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good riddance. So we made it. At least it's not snowing. I don't know. I'll start on this corner, and you start on that corner, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle. I love you. So, what's your favorite part of the day, Ben? Huh? The otters? Yeah. I'm glad they got him some friends. See, now that's nice. I like that. And do we need anything else for the cake before we get home? Cool. The weather really worked out for us. First day of spring. This is nice. I like this. A little after 11 p.m., I was eating a popsicle. Tony was lying comfortably. The epidural was doing its thing. She couldn't feel anything from her waist down. "Oh," she said, I'm feeling Pressure. Should I, yes, she said, and I leapt around the bed to the intercom. I think we need a nurse here. Someone will be there soon, came the usual reply. I think it's an emergency. See, I hadn't used the word emergency yet. 2 nurses and our laconic resident burst in within 30 seconds. One threw back the sheet. "Oh," was all she said. From her reaction, all I could imagine was the baby's head had already started poking out. I was standing at the head of the bed by Tony's right shoulder. I took her hand in both of mine. "Are you ready?" I asked. "Yes," she said. And I looked at the nurse, to the doctor for the baby. "Look at me," she said. "I need you to look at me." I did. She didn't want me to watch, and she was right. "You are going to be fine," I said. The doctor asked her to push. She did. 1 push. That was all. And they slid the baby into a blanket-lined stainless steel bowl and whisked it away. We were left alone. "You did it." "We did it." It was so quiet. The atrium was empty. The fountain was dry. The lights were low. We were alone. A nurse returned shortly to tell us that it was a boy. That was the first time we knew. Our midwife joined us and congratulated us. "Do you want to see him?" We did. "He won't look like a healthy live baby. He won't look nice." She went and returned with the boy. Tony was so tired and so drugged, our midwife handed him to me first. He was so small. And from the moment I took him, I had the insane notion that he was alive. I couldn't help it. His face changed. His brow furrowed and then relaxed. His head was so soft, the slightest movement gave him expression. He was so dark. His eyes were little slits. There was a little blood coming from his nose. I stood next to Tony and showed him to his mother. "He has your nose. He has your mouth." My poor, dark, still boy. Calvin Baker Thayer Hansen. "What a big name for such a small boy," said the nurse who wrote his death certificate. "He is my son," I said. "He is my son." "He is my son."